Hi guys, welcome to it's very impromptu show. Not really a show. I'm actually doing one of our nightcap lives. I have my TikTok family here. We do this every night at 9 o'clock. So I wanted to be able to share this with my Facebook and my YouTube family. So we're going to kind of dive in. I already have them up. They are ready to go. They are excited. We do this every night, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. And so I'm super excited to be able to share with you guys the other night. And I was talking about a few nights ago, we talked about Hezekiah and turning our face to the wall. And we have some of our family, which y'all mind if we dig back into this again? Because I want to share with those of us that are new to the live and those of us who are tuned in for the very first time on our Facebook. We were talking about being empty, 9 o'clock p.m. So this is 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now we are, I am on the East Coast. I am located in Atlanta, Georgia. So right now where I'm at, it is 9:12 p.m. But I do this 9 o'clock every night, Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But we have family all over the world. And so I'm excited to share with you all. So let me just jump right into this. We were talking about being empty the other night, right? And how being empty is a sign of something's missing, you're lacking in the area, you're lacking something. And so I'm asking some of our followers, what is it that you feel you're lacking? Hi guys, listen, if this is your first time, drop your first name. We want to pray with you and cover you. We believe God for you. We are so glad you're here. Hi Candace, welcome. My moderators, as people are dropping their names, please grab their names for me. We'll make sure that we get everybody who wants prayer on our prayer wall. As you all see, I'm not in my regular room, but we started an extension of the prayer wall here. Patricia, God bless you. We got you, sis. So the other night, right, it started off, we were talking about being, let me see if I can fix this so I can look at both of y'all at the same time. Oh, all right. Can you guys still see me? I can't see, so I'm gonna put y'all right here. So the other night, if you're joining us, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, I have my TikTok family here. We do nightcap lives Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and so I'm excited that you have joined us. We're gonna kind of jump back in from our conversation the other night, which I'm still pretty full from. We initially started off about Angelia, we got you, sis. Drop your family's name. We got you. We were talking about being empty, and being empty is a sign of something is missing. You're lacking an area, whether that's love, friendship, relationship, workplace, whatever it may be. And so, as I was ending the live and when I was getting ready to pray, oh, I can't. No, y'all got to stay with me, TikTok. Come on now. Come on. All right. So as I was ending the TikTok live the other night, and I just so happened to, I'm gonna do exactly what I did. I turned this way, and God said, "I need you to speak to the Hezekiahs that are on the live." And I said, "God, what are you talking about? The Hezekiahs that are on the live?" Angelica absolutely says, "Give us your daughter's first name. We got you covered." Look at Mary already jumping in. I love it. And so I'm going to read Kings 20, where Hezekiah's life was extended because of something that he did. And so tonight I put in the title, Be Bold, right? What Hezekiah did was bold. What Hezekiah did was, it really tugged on the heart of God because he did it in honesty and it came from his heart. The Bible says that man looks on the outward, but God looks at what's in your heart. And because Hezekiah was honest to God, and he was able to tell God what was in his heart, God not only did one thing, but he came back and he doubled it up. So I'm going to read Hezekiah 20. Let me get right to the verse. All right, so we're going to start at the first verse. It says, "In those days, Hezekiah became ill and was at the point of death. The prophet Isaiah, son of Amos, went to him and said, 'This is what the Lord says. Put your house in order because you are going to die. You will not recover.'" Okay, listen. Isaiah was a prophet of the Lord. Isaiah told Hezekiah, "Prepare your house because you are about to die. This thing that's on you, this thing that you've been carrying, is about to take you out." Y'all, as I kept reading, I read before and I got to this part. it blew my mind, because God told Isaiah to go tell Hezekiah, I need you to prepare, get your stuff in order. Make sure your life insurance policy is in place. Make sure your family is taken care of. Make sure your family is good, because this is it for you. This is it for you. You are about to die. You are going to die. You will not recover. Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord. Remember, Lord, how I have walked with you before you faithfully with wholehearted devotion. Have not what I done good in your eyes? So basically, at this point, Hezekiah is asking God, yo, it's me. It's me, Lord, the one that was walking with you, the one that was serving faithfully, the one that was serving and I was wounded, the one that was going forward when I didn't want to go, the one I was with you, Lord. I was walking with you. It says Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord. Remember, Lord, how I have walked before you faithfully and with wholehearted devotion, have not done what is good in your eyes. And Hezekiah wept bitterly. Before Isaiah left the middle of the court, the word of the Lord came to him. Go back and tell Hezekiah, the ruler of my people, this is what the Lord your God, David, father of David, says. I have heard your cry and seen your tears. I will heal you, and on the third day will deliver you. And you will go into the temple of the Lord. I will add 15 years to your life. I will heal you. I will add 15 years to your life. And I will deliver you and this city from the hand of King Assyria. I will defend the king for my sake and for the sake of David. So you guys, when I was reading the before story, right, when I went back into verse 19 and 20, Hezekiah was one of God's servants, and he was fighting war with Assyria. They was trying to overtake the land, and they were just in a place. It was a war zone. I want you to go read it for yourself. It was a war zone. And shortly after all this, after God said, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to destroy the land, as Hezekiah became ill. After Hezekiah did all this serving, after Hezekiah was devoted to God, after Hezekiah walked with the prophets, after Hezekiah served faithfully, he became so sick that he was about to die. This is 2 Kings 20. 2 Kings chapter 20 is what we're talking about. And so Hezekiah turned his face to the wall. He turned his face to the wall and he cried out to God. And he told God, this ain't fair. This ain't right. Why would you do this to me? Like, do you not know who I am? I'm Hezekiah. And when we were talking about that, a lot of people are in this place. But we got off the live, God said to tell you that your next breakthrough is in your turn. It's not just your turn, it's in your turn. Listen, you got to know when to turn your back to the world, when to turn your back to your circumstances, when to turn your back to the naysayers and the people talking about you, and truly tell God what's in your heart. A lot of y'all walking around here and you're boastful in God, but you're not telling God what's really in your heart. Your people say, oh, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm okay. And on the end, you mad. How you doing, sis? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. No, you're not. You upset. When are you going to be honest with God and tell him what's in your heart? You mad? Tell him. You upset? Tell him. Hezekiah was hurting because after all that he did, he still became ill. But this is what God showed me. A lot of us, our loyalty has went from being to God to being to the church, being to people, being to everything that we give our time to. God said, I need your loyalty back to me. I need your devotion back to me. I need that one-on-one time. I need that face-to-face time. So sometimes God will allow things to happen to us, not to break us, but to build us up, not to destroy us, but to listen. That was a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. We give our time and our loyalty to everything and everybody. When was the last time you said, God, let me tell you what's really in my heart? I'm frustrated with where I am. I'm sick of being sick and tired. I'm done with being depressed. When are you going to get in God's face and say, you know what? I can't do this. You got to be bold. You have to be bold. My mentor told me, Jamila, God's getting ready to give you tough skin. And some of y'all have been on here when people have came on here and tried to come against what God is saying, but I have to keep going. I have to be obedient. I have to be obedient. When are you going to tell God what's really in your heart? When are you going to tell God what's really in your heart? So I want to share with you some of my cousins, right? Some of my cousins in the Bible that had to go boldly before the Lord, that had to go boldly and not allow their current circumstances to stop them. We got Moses, right? Y'all know my cousin Moses. He had a stuttering issue. Moses didn't like to speak because he was afraid that every time he opened his mouth, that people were not going to listen to him. Moses faced insecurities. Moses faced insecurities. He was fearful because he had an issue. What was his issue? He was a stutterer. The Bible said that he was slow to speech. He was slow to speech. But because he went forth anyway, his bravery inspired the Jews to follow his example. Because he went forth anyway, he inspired people to follow him. Yes, Marion, God knows what's in your heart, but he wants to know, are you going to tell me? Are you going to be, you know how sometimes ladies, when we like a guy, or even guys, you like a girl, and they may sense it, right? We know when somebody trying to slide in our DMs. We know when somebody trying to, kick it to us, but we know. But sometimes we're going to wait on you to say something. I'm not going to move until you open your mouth. Right? You have some women like that. They know when the guy's feeling them. They know when a guy want to slide in the DMs, but they won't say nothing until you open your mouth. Tell me what's in your heart. What's in your heart? And then we got my other favorite cousin, David. Y'all know David was a scrawny little boy. David was like me. He was short in stature. And to everybody else, he was constantly overlooked because of who he was. He had siblings that, they were big. They were built. They went forth in the Lord. But then you had David, who he's scrawny, right? But David had courage to face Goliath. He had the courage to face something that a lot of people run away from. He was bold. I don't care how short I am. I don't care how much training I haven't had. When God says go, I'm going to go. He was steadfast. He was confident. Some of y'all need to get like David. Be confident. I know you're facing Goliath. I know you're facing a giant. I know what you're facing seems big, but you have to be steadfast and unmovable like a tree planted by the rivers. You got to go bold in God. In this season, God's calling you to be bold. Go boldly before him. Go bold. And because of his faith, he influenced those around him to join his side. Because David went boldly before God, and he didn't worry about how he looked. He didn't worry about how he sounded. He didn't worry that he only had 5 stones. All it took was 1 to take out his giant. But his confidence, being steadfast and confident in the Lord, not in himself. He was confident in God. You got to go bold. Hezekiah was bold. He turned his face to the wall and he cried out to God. He was honest in his heart. God knows you mad at him, but you have not opened your mouth in the last 10 years and said, God, you know what? I am tired. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of people overlooking me. I'm tired. He want carry everything to him. Y'all want to give God the little stuff. He don't want that. Give me all of it. I told y'all the other night, God said, I want all the smoke. Give me all the smoke. I want it all. I want it all. So we have Moses, who was bold to face the past. He faces insecurities. We had David, who had the courage to face impossible situations. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, David. Be bold. It may seem impossible, but you gotta go forth anyway. You gotta go forth anyway. You got to go forth anyway. And then we had my favorite cousin, y'all. She's my favorite. I love her. We had Esther. You know why Esther went? You know why she's one of the holy bowl rollers? Because she was willing to take a risk. Esther became queen when she wasn't supposed to, because her bloodline told you came from the hood. You're not supposed to be a millionaire. You came from a single parent household. You're not supposed to be as successful as you are. She was willing to take the risk. She risked her life to save the Jews. She risked everything. She put it all on the line. She was bold. Being bold is not being arrogant. Being bold is say, God, you know what? I know you with me, so I'm going to go forth anyway. I may be scared, but I'm going to go forth anyway. The plan that God had for her life motivated her to take the risk. This is me taking a risk. Stepping out on faith, take the risk. Start the business, take the risk. Take the risk. Esther was bold. Esther was bold. Esther was bold. She prayed and she fasted and she said, God, you know what? Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And so she prayed and she fasted to put her trust in God so she can have the courage to stand up to her husband to protect her people. She went bold. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for those seeds, sis. Sis, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. Don't you let nobody tell you that you're uneducated. You ask God to give you clarity, understanding, and you use the power in your story and you decree and you speak over your life. You are beautiful. Angelia, well, guess what, sis? You got a circle of siblings right here that's going to love on you. We're going to love on you. Miss T92, you said it, but God. You may be dealing with mental issues, but mental issues don't have you. You have it. And you trust God that he's going to deliver you from it. Go bold. Go bold. Esther was bold. Her sacrifice saved her people because she was willing to take a risk. Oh, and then we had Daniel. How was Daniel bold? Because he had the courage to not give in. He had the courage to not waver. He had the courage to not let go. He had the courage to stand up to some things. He never gave up praying to God, even when people threatened him. Daniel never stopped praying to God, even though people were telling him, you better shut your mouth. Daniel never closed his mouth because he refused to give up. The enemy already got you because you refuse to open your mouth. But I decree and declare that after tonight, you're going to be bold and you're going to be able, listen, open your mouth. You say what God put in your heart. You say it, you decree and you declare. You speak to your atmosphere. The narrative of your story can change with one word. The narrative of your story can change with just one word. The narrative of your story can change with just one word. Daniel prayed, although it was against the law for him to pray. Daniel went forth. He refused to shut his mouth. His confidence for God went deep. His confidence in God went deep. It went deep. God is causing you to go deep because he can't draw from an empty well. If God sends somebody to you, you got to be so deep in your calling. You got to be so deep in God so that when they go to draw from you, they're drawing deep and it won't be surface level stuff. It will be deep. You got to go deep. How do you go deep? You got to pray. You got to pray. You got to pray. Daniel wasn't supposed to be praying. Daniel was like, nah, I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say. He fasted and he prayed. That's why y'all know a lot of people do the Daniel fast, because he fasted and he prayed. Even though people want to shut his mouth. Even yes, if you go and read the book of Daniel, and we'll go deeper into it. But Daniel wasn't supposed to be praying. He wasn't supposed to be praying. There was a law that was written that prohibited them to pray. And Daniel was like, no, I'm going to go forward. But you got to go deep. Being bold requires you to go deep in God. Being bold requires you to, y'all, like I told y'all today, I wasn't really, God had me buried in some other stuff. He had me buried in some other stuff. You got to go bold. You got to go bold. Hold on, this broadcast is not doing right. Let me